is called baby kangaroos. Everybody say baby kangaroos.
Baby kangaroos.
All right, now in this story, it describes how a baby kangaroo moves in its mother's pouch soon after it's born, okay? And how it spends its first years growing up, okay? And how it learns to finally leave the mother's pouch after a year, okay? So we're going to learn about baby kangaroos and how it lives in its mother's pouch, okay? Now, this story, how the story it is called informational text. Say informational text.
Informational text.
All right, so that means it's going to give us facts about the baby kangaroo. All right, does everybody understand that? Okay, good job. All right, so before we begin reading, we're going to go over your vocabulary words that you're going to see in the story. Okay, so the first one is, what is this word?
Years.
Years. And what does the word years mean? What does it mean? What are years? You remember how many months are in a year?
12.
12. Okay, so there's 12 months in the year, and it's the amount of time. So years are amount of time. Say that. Amount of time. And how many months are in a year? 12. All right, very good. The next word, what is this word?
8.
8. And what does the word 8 mean? What does it mean? What does it mean, Belinda? It is a number, and it's more than what number? Doggy.
7.
It is more than 7 and less than what?
9.
9. Very good. All right, the next word. This is what, everyone?
Baby.
Baby. What does the word baby mean? That's in our title, isn't it? Baby. What is a baby?
Something that animals or people.
Very good. A very young person or animal. Okay? And the name for a baby kangaroo is a joey. Everyone say joey.
Joey.
So remember how we went over earlier in the week how the name for a baby cat is a kitten, the name for a baby sheep is a lamb, where the name for a baby kangaroo is joey. Everyone say joey.
Joey.
Good. All right, the next word is until. Everyone say until.
Until.
What is the word until? What does that mean, Nathan? You remember? It means up to the time of. Everybody say that? Up to the time of. That is what the word until means. And this word, everybody say this word?
Begins.
Begins. What does it mean to begin? Dog.
When you start.
To start. Very good. Good job. And this word, what is this word?
Follow.
Follow. What does it mean to follow? Nathan. To go behind or after is follow. And the last one, this is what?
Learning.
What does it mean to learn? Sophia, do you know what it means to learn? What are you doing when you're learning? What are you getting? Can you guys help her out? What is it?
Getting knowledge.
Getting knowledge. Can you say that, Sophia? Getting knowledge. So what is learning, everyone? What is learning? Getting knowledge. What is it, Belinda? Getting knowledge. Very good. So now we're going to read. All right? Let's look at our story now. Now, do you guys know any information about kangaroos? Like what they do, how they move around? What is something you know about kangaroos?
They jump very high.
Right. They hop, they jump. What else? Anything else you know about kangaroos? Dragon, what is something you know about a kangaroo?
They can jump high and they can hop.
Very good. So we're going to, kangaroos, they move around, they hop, and they live, when they're little, when they're babies, they live where? In their mother's pouch, okay? So we're going to talk about that. What do babies do? What do baby kangaroos do, okay? In their mother's pouch. All right, so let's read. We're going to look for clues, okay? All right, let's look at the first page. All right, Nathan, can you read the first page?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Kangaroos live in Australia. Every mother kangaroo has a pouch. The pouch is left
our heading. You guys see our heading here? That is something you see in informational text. You will have subheadings. And what's the title of this heading? What does it say? Baby kangaroo. And look, that is the picture of a young kangaroo. All right? Yeah, it's a baby. It's just born. All right? So let's read about baby kangaroos. What is that? I think it's feeding from its mother. It's nursing. It's getting milk. That's what the baby kangaroo is doing right there. And his mother's feeding him. All right? Let's read the next page. All right? Belinda, go ahead. All right, what is a baby kangaroo called?
A
A
joey.
joey. All right, keep going.
A joey
Crawls.
right into its mother
Pouch.
After it is born. The joey cannot see or hear. It is as small as a fingernail.
Very good. So, what is the baby kangaroo like when it's born? What is it like? What kind of details did it tell us about the baby kangaroo? What is it like? What does it look like when it's first born? Nathan.
It looks like
Right, it's a small, does it look like a fingernail? What did it say? Read that line where it talks about that. It says it's what? It is as small as a fingernail. So it's just as small as a fingernail. Can you guys imagine that? A little baby kangaroo just as small as your fingernail? Yeah. And what else did we learn about the joey? What else did it say about the baby kangaroo? What else did we learn about it when it's first born? So as small as a fingernail. And what else, Dogum?
A young kangaroo is called a joey.
It's called a joey. And what else?
A joey falls right into its mother's pouch.
Right. So it already knows what it's supposed to do. So as soon as it's born, it crawls immediately into its mother's pouch, right? And also, another thing is, as you look down here at the bottom, it says the joey cannot see or hear when it is born. All right? That's just how it looks when it's born. All right, let's look at the next page. I know. That's why they haven't developed yet. That's why he can't hear yet.
And he can't
Right. And he can't see. All right, let's look at the next page. You ready? All right, now look at this heading. What does it say now? The first few months. So now we're going to learn about what the baby joey's life is like the first few months, okay? All right, Dog, go ahead and read.
The first
Protect.
the joey. It keeps the joey warm and cozy. The joey goes inside the
Pouch. Everybody say that word. What is P-O-U-C-H?
pouch.
Okay.
Pouch after a few months. It has ears, legs, and points.
All right, very good. So for the first few months, what occurs with the joey? What happens to the joey? What happens to it? What did it say? Nathan?
It says it has ears, legs.
So after a few months, it grows, its ears develop, and its legs and fur grows on it, right? And what is it like inside? What did it say it's like inside the joey's pouch? How does it feel inside the joey? What word did they use to describe what it's like inside the joey's pouch? What did it say, Sophia?
Warm and cozy.
Yeah, it's warm and cozy. Look at the picture. Doesn't he look all snuggled up in there and warm? Yeah, he's sleeping. Yeah, and soft, isn't it? Yes. All right, so now that was the first few months. Now we're going to read about what happens next. So what happens? Leaving the pouch. Everybody read that heading? Leaving the pouch. So let's read to figure out what happens when the joey finally leaves. Okay? Sophia, can you read that?
When the joey gets bigger, it begins to move around. Joey can
Leave.
the pouch for a few minutes. Then it climbs back into the pouch.
Okay, so what happens, don't turn the page yet. So what happens when the Joey leaves the pouch? What does he do? Nathan, what does he do? He gets bigger, right? And what else does he start to do? He gets bigger and what? Sophia?
Move around.
He moves around. And how old is he when he starts to do this? What did it say on the page? How old is the Joey when he begins to move around? Donna?
6.
6 what?
6 to 8.
Keep reading. 6 to 8 months. So he's 6 to 8 months when he finally begins to move around, right? And jump around and leave the pouch. Now, does he leave the pouch for good?
No.
What did it say? Look back.
Can the Joey the pouch for a few minutes.
Right, and then he goes right back to the pouch, right? So he hasn't left completely, has he? No, he's just taken some moments on his own, but then he goes right back to his mother's pouch. Okay, very good. Let's look at the next page. Now, what is this page discussing? What is this section about? What's the title? Learning how to hop. So now we're going to read about how the Joey learns how to hop. Nathan, can you read that?
Learning how to hop. The Joey keeps growing. The Joey follows its mother. It learns to hop.
All right, very good. All right, Sophia, you read the next section. Belinda, read the next section.
The Joey returns to the pouch. When it gets scared or wants to rest, sometimes the mother takes another baby. When
Another.
baby. When the baby
Then
the big
Joey.
Joey shares the pouch with its tiny brother or sister.
Okay, so when it learns how to hop, what is the Joey doing? What else happens to the Joey as it's learning how to hop? What else happens? Go back and look. The question is, what else occurs with the Joey as it's learning how to hop? What else is happening? Nathan? Okay, so sometimes the mother kangaroo has another baby. And when did it say the Joey returns back to the mother's pouch? When does it return to the mother's pouch?
The Joey returns to the pouch when it gets scared or wants to rest.
All right, very good. So now, when he gets scared or when he gets tired, he goes back to his mother's pouch, right? And since Nathan brought up that sometimes at this stage, the mother has another baby, so now he has to share the pouch. So what do you think it feels like in the pouch if he's sharing it with other siblings? What do you think it feels like now? Warm, what else?
And cozy.
Cozy, what else might it feel like if there's other brothers and sisters in there?
Cozier.
Cozier, you think?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's probably crowded. You think it's crowded in there too?
Yeah.
I think it's probably warmer, but it's also probably more crowded as well. All right, let's look at the next page.
And I need some air because there's a lot of people.
Yes.
Need some air.
And you may not be able to sleep as well too. That's a good point. All right, let's look at the next section. What is it talking about now?
Growing up.
All right, Don, can you read that?
A Joey drinks milk from its mother's pouch until it is about 8 years old.